I knew something was wrong the moment I saw the smirk on her face, not her usual smile, not the one I fell in love with. This one was sharper, more deliberate, calculated, like she knew something I didn't. That night after dinner, she left. Her phone on the counter, screen up, unlocked. I glanced, maybe out of habit, maybe instinct. But my eyes caught one message. He didn't even flinch, lol. Maybe push it further tomorrow, from her friend Dana. I didn't react. And that's exactly what disappointed them. My wife Emma and her recently divorced friends had come up with what they called a test. Their words, not mine. A fake affair prank designed to see if I still cared, to spark jealousy, to reignite passion, or make me chase her like I used to. They wanted drama, theater, to turn our marriage into a play, and themselves into directors. Whispering lines into her ears, stage managing our lives for their entertainment. What they didn't understand is that I don't perform. I observe, I remember, and when the time is right, I act. Emma and I had been married for 7 years, quietly strong, no screaming matches, no dramatic ultimatums. Just loyalty, stability, and trust, or so I believed. I stood by her through the worst, the death of her father, where I took care of everything from funeral arrangements to finances. When she lost her job, I supported us both for 18 months without a single complaint. Then Dana's husband cheated. Emma cried harder than the actual wife. And suddenly, Dana and Emma were inseparable. I became invisible, drifting further into the background. She began telling me I was too steady, that maybe I didn't feel deeply because I didn't shout, slam doors, or break plates. But the truth is, I feel everything, I just don't show it. They mistook my calm for indifference, so they tried to manufacture chaos. It started small. Emma began taking late-night phone calls, whispering behind locked doors, laughing too hard at texts. When I asked, she waved it off, just Dana being stupid. Once, she came home with a trace of men's cologne on her blouse. Another time, she claimed a male coworker dropped her off, though there was no rideshare record. The lies weren't smart. They weren't even subtle. It wasn't manipulation. It was a performance. And I was the audience. And what they didn't anticipate was that I don't react emotionally. I respond strategically. First, I bought a burner phone. Installed surveillance software, legally gray, morally justified in my book. Every message, every deleted thread, every voice note forwarded directly to me. That's how I found the group chat. Temma, Dana, and 2 others, all divorced, all bitter, self-proclaimed queens reclaiming their power. They called it Operation Wake Him Up. The mission: push me into fighting for Emma again, force jealousy, stir panic. They wanted fire. Instead, they got ice. I smiled through it, took Emma to dinner, bought her flowers, let her believe it was working. Meanwhile, I met with a lawyer, not just any lawyer, but a specialist in high-asset divorces and digital evidence. Quietly, I began to untangle our finances, shifted investments into separate holdings, moved half the liquid cash into a trust. Under my sister's name, paid off and closed our joint credit cards, left hers open so the next part would sting. 3 weeks into the game, they escalated. Emma left her phone out again on purpose, of course. This time, their photos blurred, distant shots of her with a man likely staged, maybe even hired. The caption read, "He bought me coffee," and said, I was radiant. Haven't heard that in years. They expected me to explode. Instead, I said, "You do look radiant. I'm glad someone else sees it too." She blinked, confused. That wasn't in the script. The very next day, I filed for divorce. I timed it perfectly, her birthday. Took her to a rooftop restaurant she loved. She was glowing, convinced the prank had worked, that I was back under her spell. Halfway through dessert, I handed her an envelope. She laughed. "What's this?" "A love letter." I smiled. She opened it. Silence. Her hands trembled as she read the word divorce at the top. Below it, printed copies of their group chat. Every message, every scheme. Her signature on the prank. Our little game, stapled neatly to the end. Eyes met. Mine, desperate, darting for softness. "I didn't mean to. You meant to manipulate me," I said calmly. "You turned our marriage into a stage. Now the curtain's down," she stammered, blaming Dana. claiming it was never her idea. They said it would make you fight for me again, that it would wake you up. I looked at Hurley, looked and saw it. The regret, yes, but also the dawning horror that she gambled everything on people who had nothing. Dana's idea, I said. Then maybe she can marry you. I left. The fallout came quickly.
Dana messaged me first. Some pathetic attempt at a guilt trip.
You're proving our point by walking away. I replied with a screenshot of the trust transfer in a single line. You played stupid games. I made real moves. Then I blocked her. Emma tried harder, showed up crying, begging. It was just a prank. I love you. A love that requires manipulation. Isn't love its control? I don't wear a leash. They never expected consequences. Like most who play games with people's hearts, they assume being loud made them powerful. But real power, it's quiet, precise, unseen, until it's too late. The divorce was finalized in 4 months. I kept the house.
I'll see.
A lesson. Our mutual friends, the ones who mattered, they took my side. They saw the screenshots, saw the scheme for what it was. The rest I left behind with her. Do I miss her? No, I miss who I thought she was. But that woman vanished the moment she handed my love over to a group chat. This wasn't revenge driven by bitterness. It was closure born of truth. Let them call me cold. Let them say I overreacted. I'll walk alone in silence before I ever share my bed with someone who plots behind. My back with friends who mock the very foundation of loyalty. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't make a scene. I ended the show.